Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Now, David is getting pissed, but he's not stupid. He knows the odds are against him no matter what he does right now. If he does anything to try to get out of this, meaning get out of the gangster organization, he's going to get crushed. He's got to still a few more years of doing the penitentiary, and it ain't about getting shipped and going to another penitentiary. It's not how it works. If he gets shipped and go to another penitentiary, they're just going to write a letter and say, charge him down now. The same thing. It's going to stay the same no matter where he goes and what he does. So he has to think about this. So months go by. He's still getting the packs in. He's still setting the shorts. He's got money on the town, right? This is about respect now, though. This is about respect. They playing him like he's a real sucker, like a real do-boy, right? So in his mind, like I say, he's not stupid. But in this game, he's got to play a sucker to catch a sucker. That's just how it works. I know you've heard me say that before, but that's just what this is. He has to pretend that he's going along with everything and he's cool with everything so he can survive this experience. He's trying to make it out of this rat hole. And that's what he's got going on right now. But let me tell you something. No man is going to continue to accept being disrespected. They're going to find a way to get out from under that. Now, Benny and Tony, they have grown arrogant. They feel like they got it. They back in their rooms every weekend talking about how they got dude. And then on top of that, guess what? Rumors are floating. Benny and Tony getting high. Don't know if it's true. Don't nobody know. But that's the rumor that's floating. So it's a crack in the armor. Why is that, y'all? If you know anything about the oil, you can't be using any addictive drugs. And the last I checked, cocaine is addictive. Right? It's addictive. People want to argue up and down about weed, but we know for sure cocaine is addictive. We ain't going to argue about that. But we don't know if that's true yet. But there's a crack in the armor because people are talking about the 9 and the 2. And that usually don't happen, but whispers are in the air. Now, David, this is the opportunity that he's been waiting for. He needs to see a crack in the armor. This ain't no different than the streets. In the streets, the strong survive. And that don't necessarily mean that you can lift the most weights. Going down on the ball field, lifting 200, 300, 400 pounds. That don't mean you the strongest. The strongest muscle in the human body is the brain. Not the bicep, not the thigh, not the back muscle, not your abs. It's the brain. And David had sense. He knew how the streets work. So he just applied what he knew on the streets, to the penitentiary. And once he started to figure this thing out, he started to realize he had more power than he thought. He had more power than they had let on that he had. They made him feel like, through fear and intimidation, of course, but they made him feel like he needed them more than they needed him. But without him, they got problems because he's been finding out a lot. Now, see, one of the pluses about being a part of the fam, then people accept you. Even if the people that put you on is manipulating, the rest of the fam don't know that you're being manipulated and used. They think you one of the guys for real. You understand what I'm saying? So they're sharing conversations with you that as a peon you wouldn't have had privy to. So you're hearing all of the good and the bad that's going on with Benny and Tony. So he started here. Everybody's not happy with them. So he's hearing all of this. And he's sitting back in the cut. He's waiting on his opportunity. He's waiting. He's trying to figure out how can he create a situation to where everybody starts to look at him and not them. Because he's got to be careful because he could get killed. If he plays games, he can get killed. Because Ben and Tony, they still run the compound. And by them running the compound, they got clout everywhere, all over the state. So if he don't do this right, then it could be the end of him. Trust me, the end of him. No if, and, but about it. The very people that are sitting around talking about Ben and Tony will be the very people that will stick a knife down his neck and break it. So you got to be careful when you're playing this game, especially when you're dealing with gangsters. Because gangsters will laugh in your face and stab you in your back. I'm telling you, it's like turning on a faucet. 1 minute is hot, the next minute is cold. You don't know what it's going to be from 1 minute to the next when you're dealing with gangsters. So be careful. But he knew one thing. The man with the biggest bag runs the floor. That's just what it is. He had figured that out. But how does he present himself as the guy without offending or getting on the bad side of Benny and Tony? I'm going to tell you how. He had to build a clique within a clique. Now, I don't know if y'all heard of that before, right? But see, in all organizations, right? I know when I was the nine. I knew I had to deal with all the different organizations. All the different groups and cliques within the org, right? I had to deal with them. You had the brothers from Chattanooga, you had the brothers from Memphis, you had the brothers from Knoxville, you had the brothers from Nashville. You understand what I'm saying? And then all the small surrounding counties would latch on to those groups. And they all had their own understanding of who they respected and listened to the most. And out of those groups, then you would formulate a coalition to where you could hold it together. That's how it works. Now, David had to figure out how to get all of these different factions within the org to eat off of his plate and not Benny and Tony's plate, even though the plate that Benny and Tony was serving up to them was supplied by David. Now, he didn't want to put all his business out there, so he started to pull at a couple of brothers that he saw that was getting money. Because here's one thing about the fam, too. Let me explain something to y'all about this, getting money. Now, the organization can't mandate that you got to pack, you got to break bread with the fam. They can't mandate that. A lot of brothers try to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how Benny and Tony get down. You feel me? But you can't mandate. There ain't no law that says that. If I get a pack in, I got to break bread with you. Ain't no law that says that. None. But what I will do, I'll pay my dues. You feel what I'm saying? And out of respect for my brothers and my loved ones, I'll break bread. But I don't have to. Remember that. But this is what he did. He saw a couple of brothers that was getting their money. Now, he ain't scared no more. He's scared of the fact that what could happen to him, but he's not scared of being a Tony anymore. He's strategizing. This is war. This is war, y'all. So he see these two brothers, they're getting their money. They the folks. They sitting down and talking, and he can have those conversations with them, and it won't look suspicious to anybody because the folks hang around each other all day, every day. All day, every day. So he's kicking with these two younger brothers, and he sees them getting money. He said, man, what y'all trying to do? I see y'all over here getting it. And then you know how young brothers are. They want to fly, just be flashy and show everybody that they got it under control, that they know what they're doing, and this, and that, right? But when David stepped to him, he said, man, can I get in on that? Now, they knew he was doing business with Benny and Tony, but they didn't know to what extent. And as far as they seen it, this is a brother. And he ain't coming to the table empty-handed. He didn't want nothing from them except for the use of the route. And he also offered to pay. But this their brother, he don't have to pay. They said, no, bro, we good. But he said, no, I'm going to pay you. So this is what he do, right? Because, they getting that cocaine in too, right? Now, David, he hollered his peeps on the town through his gal, right, in VG. He tell her, look, go tell them I need some of them fish scales, right? That pink. It's that kind where when the light hit it, look like the fish scale. Like you go to the grocery store at Kroger's, you got that group to be sitting on that ice, and you know how the light hit it, and then pink and the grayish and the pink. That's how this dope look. It's some of that ooh wee good golly. When you open it up, it smell like you at the clinic. You know how you go to the clinic and it smell all fresh and clean, like medication? That's what this smell like. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anybody been in the game, y'all know what I'm talking about. Quit playing. Quit playing. Look at me getting all excited. I just had a flashback, y'all. I don't know what's going on. You hear me? I don't know what's going on. But I ain't on that no more. You feel me? But I remember them days. Woo-wee. I ain't use it, but I was selling. I remember them days, boy. When they get that dope like that, they gone. And this is what he intended to do. David wanted to get that in so he could show these two brothers, look here, what y'all getting ain't nothing. I'm finna get this medication. I'm finna get this thing that the doctor would prescribe to you. You understand what I'm saying to you? So when David got that pack in, and he broke bread, he had to pay him, right, because he had agreed to it. So he break them off a little bit. Now they looking at theirs and they looking at his and everybody. Now they saying, wait a minute, hold up. So they took theirs and mixed it with his, and it was still that fire. I'm coming back. Look here, David getting that uncut funk. Can't nobody on the compound compete with it. But he leaning back. He ain't get out there and sell none of his. He let them go sell it. But this is what he told them. Hey, folks, don't talk about where you got this from. You feel what I'm saying? Don't let nobody know. Nobody know, folks. GD that, folks. GD that. That's the business. When they say GD that, that's the business. You don't say nothing. Shut it down. Your word is your bond. You risk violation if you break that. You understand? So he manipulating on all of that. So now they put it out on the compound. I'm talking about they got people running. Listen, it's the penitentiary. They got people running like, you know how in the hood where everybody be lined up at the crack house, they all line up at the unit. They looking for it. They don't care what the police is saying. They don't want to hear none of that. Where that dope at? That's what they screaming. Where that dope at? Who got that dope? One of them got that dope. And they getting it off like that. I'm talking about rolling. So they run back to him. They know he got some more because he just gave them what he paid them and they mixed it with theirs. So they run back to folks and say, hey, folks, you got any more of that? They said, yeah. They let me buy some. So he sold it to him. He gave him a deal on it, but it wasn't about the money. Folks playing the long game on him. He break them off. Let them get there. They go take care of the business. They keep coming back until he's all out. They got paid. You hear me? Paid. David got his money too. And he shoot it on out. Plus what he got, you know what I'm saying, from Benny and Tony. But he ain't really focused on that. He's trying to build his own clique. And he's almost there. So now, folks and them out. They got a couple of days now to go before they can go back to visit. They sending the money out, they gas, everybody happy. It's like, man, we need to get some more of that. Now, Ben and Tony, they hearing that folks them got that dope. So when they stepped to folks them, the young brother, they said, man, where y'all get that dope at? They said, man, stay out of our business. Because they understand as folks, as the gangsters. Man, they ain't got to tell them that. They can tell them out of respect and love as what they want, but they don't owe them that. They said, man, folks, man, stay out of our business, man. Get your money, let me get my money, man. As long as I pay my due. Now, that folks them understanding the law, too. They can't force him to say nothing. So they trying to mack it up out of, man, y'all playing right here with that dope. I'm finna get something in next week. Y'all need to get in on this, right? You feel what I'm saying? They trying, but folks them ain't going. They young, but they ain't green. They wouldn't say nothing because they felt like if they said something, they might get cut off. Now, David, he right there, too, while all of this conversation, this bantering back and forth is going on, right? And he's listening, and he's nervous on the one hand. On the other hand, he's excited because he see that them two young brothers, they did exactly what they said they would do. They said nothing. Now, Bennett and Tony, they trying to figure out who's the competition. Where they get this at? Then Tony said, oh, it's probably a one-time thing. You know how it go. Good batch come into the city. They might got lucky and got it. Sent it into them, and they got theirs off. They won't be able to get that no more. So, Bennett and Tony, they keep doing what they were doing, getting their money. They getting money too now. Don't get it twisted. But this ain't about money no more. This ain't about money no more. So now, David, he go finding two more brothers and two more brothers. He keep doing the same game over and over and over till he got a nice number of brothers on his side where he can really make a power move. He got everybody getting money. He's getting money too. Now, it's taking longer for Benny and Tony to get theirs off. While all the other brothers is getting theirs off 2 and 3 days before it's time to go back to visit. I'm talking about getting it off. Benny and Tony, they getting theirs off on the back end. So Benny and Tony, they pulled David in one time on one of these days, and they said, look here, man, what is going on, man? Somebody got some stuff out there on the town. They sending in here that's killing yours, trying to make him feel like he needs to compete. He said, man, that'll run out. Ain't no big deal. They don't even know they talking to the man, right? And if they wouldn't have been greedy on the front end of all this thing, trying to scare people up, they would have had access to all of this. They had the goose to lay the golden egg. But they treated him like he wasn't nothing. So now his whole aim is to run them down. And now those rumors that everybody was talking about how they were getting high, oh, they back. They back. Everybody's talking about they getting high. And one of the folks said he seen them. Now, look here. When another brother see you doing something you ain't got no business doing, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Because if they bring that to the table at the deuce, it's going to be some problems. It's going to be some problems. Don't matter if they the 9 and the 2. That ain't going to matter. Y'all getting high. You breaking the rule. The rules apply to you just like they apply to me. Ain't no big eyes and little U's in this thing, y'all. Y'all got to understand. This stuff gets serious real fast, and it will turn on you at the drop of a dime. Don't nobody play with this. Don't nobody play with this. So just check out what happened. So they on the ball field. They having a deuce, right? Everybody out there. About 30, 40 of them. They all out there just chilling. They open up the meeting properly, ceremonially. Everybody's out there. They're talking. David, you know what I'm saying, is asked, you know what I'm saying, to say a few things about what's going on, this, and that, because they're trying to elevate him into a position of authority like they said they was going to do, but they ain't got him there quite yet, right? So they letting him speak and get familiar with the fam. But what they don't understand is the fam is very familiar with him already. But it's on the low-low. It's on the low-low, so they're really playing into his hand. The fam already looked to him like a leader. And now Benny and Tony letting him assume the role of a leader without the official position. But the fam is already there. They moving too slow. So now when it gets back, you know what I'm saying, to Benny and Tony's turn to speak, they're talking about all these other things, and they was asking different questions about this, that, and that, and this. So one of the young brothers brings it up. It was planned anyway, already before the deuce. One of the young brothers brings it up and said, hey, folks, word is that y'all getting high. Of course, they denied it and put it on everything. You know what I'm saying? Put it on everything. Put it on the channel. Put it on David. You know what I'm saying? Larry and David. They wasn't playing. You understand what I'm saying? And here's what happened, though. Check it out. Listen to me. Folks them said, we got a witness. So you got a witness. That's what Ben and Tony said. A witness to what? A witness to y'all getting high. Folks said he saw y'all looking in. He looked in the cell. Don't he come to holler at y'all? He look in the cell. Y'all in that snow. Getting it in. Of course, they denied it. Folks put it on everything that he saw it. But he didn't have another witness to back him up. So it's their word against his. Now keep in mind, they denied in the two. So strong, heavyweight. Still, even though brothers believe this brother, it's still strong evidence. But check it out. I'm going to show you how the game get real nasty. Real raw, real dirty, real fast, right? But I'm not going to let you know that until you come back to the next episode and listen and see what's really going on with Ben and Tony. And look, like I said, look up, go check out the book, hit that thing up in the comment section, hit that link and go get that book, Rival. And this talk, hey, the book is good, y'all. And the movie's going to be even better. It's going to be even better. I know y'all pissed at me about cutting the show like this. Hey, but look here, y'all know what it is. These phone calls, man, look here. 30-minute phone call. I got to have some time to talk to my people. You feel what I'm saying? You know what it is. Now, come on now. Work with me now. Work with me, y'all. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I'll say peace, y'all.